want to talk about my weight. It's just that I don't always want to. And then sometimes it's like some random person just brings it up. Over the years, my weight has fluctuated. I've looked like this, and like this, and this, and this. But like, sometimes I just want to come online and be like, hey, I don't always want to see comments about my weight.
Hell no, to the no, no, no.
You know, my content, and you know, if you've never seen me before, my main channel is a skincare channel, which I'll link. You know, go and check that out if you want to get your skin together. My content in recent years has focused on skincare, sometimes makeup, sometimes fashion. In the past, I've included content that talks about how I lost and gained 30 pounds. But outside of that, that don't mean I want to keep continuing the conversation with someone I don't really know that well. I think most of you can relate to going to a family function and having them be all up in your business, asking you about your dating status, talking about your weight, talking about your skin, or what have you. I think most of you can relate to not wanting to always have that be the topic of discussion when you show up someplace. And look, I ain't gotta be the one to tell y'all, but some of y'all a little weird on the internet, you know? So anyway, because people do ask this question a lot and like I just hate having to repeat myself over and over again and whatnot, let's just put it in one place. And the big secret to how I lost my weight, like, hold on, let me get it. Diet and exercise. No flat tummy tea, no keto, no waist trainer, no cleanses. I mean, personally, I can't do all of that. I cannot do all of that and not expect the weight to come back, right? If you can do it, praise you. I'm happy for you. We doing about me. But seriously, diet and exercise, it's actually not a secret. Consume less calories and you can lose weight. You don't even have to work out to lose weight. It's recommended, it's beneficial. I do it because I want to tone up and apparently I must like torture. But there's no secret. Okay, good night, folks. Okay, so there is science to it, but because I'm not trained in that stuff, I'm gonna need you to consult your doctor and a registered dietitian, you know, but this is what worked for me. And it's Weight Watchers, well, WW, which I think, okay. So I've written about this before on my blog and did a video on it on my main channel before I niched down to skincare. But I have been on well, I can't really say I've been on Weight Watchers since 2014. I've had an account since 2014, lost about 30 pounds my first go around. It works amazingly when you use it. Then when you don't use it, you kind of fall off. Well, you know, we'll talk about that soon. Now, Weight Watchers WW has gone through some changes lately. I don't even think I understand all of the changes because I feel like it just changed again. I thought I was on green or maybe it was blue or what have you, and it just did another update. But the main idea now is that they have various plans that can be adjusted for your lifestyle. You can do it through an app. I mean, I ain't gotta sell you on this. You can look it up and figure it out on your own. I'm just telling you what works for me, okay? But basically how it works in my head is that I can eat whatever I want. There are no restrictions. I don't have to feel like I'm starving myself. Doesn't that sound great? But then you start tracking what you eating, you know, you put it in a little app, you know, little app thing, and then you start to realize that some foods that you thought were, oh, I'm just gonna have a small little piece of this, are a lot of points. A lot of points. Case in point. Right now on my plan, I get a 22-point allotment for the day, right? And a McDonald's large fries is 15 points. Put that in perspective. Now, I could eat those fries one day because I do get an extra like bank of extra points for the week, you know, so I could allocate those large fries to my little bank, provided that, you know, everything else in my routine is copacetic. But what I've learned is sometimes it's not worth it because yes, I could eat those large fries, you know, take the L on the 15 points because after eating those large fries, I might feel somewhat satiated. You know, I might need a little salad or something to kind of, you know, take me over into the next meal. But of course, you know, that salad can't have a whole bunch of fatty dressing on it. And, you know, maybe I kind of flavor it up with some, you know, fresh pepper and some red onion or something. But, you know, that salad, provided you're not adding a bunch of fatty dressings and whatnot on it, can be anywhere from 0 to 3 points, you know, give or take. But you know what else is about 15 points? A Twix bar. Yup, them 2 skinny little pieces of chocolate that ain't filling nobody are worth more than half of my daily allotment for my points, right? Also about 15 points, a Jamaican beef patty. You know, I might be full a little bit, but I'm probably still gonna want some more food. So you begin to realize that, like, some things just aren't worth it. So then you might be like, all right, boom, what can I eat that's gonna be less points, right? And I realize that this is kind of sounding like an ad for Weight Watchers, but I promise you that it isn't. And even if it was, this would still be my true thoughts and things and whatnot. Stick with me. So yeah, after a while, you're like, yo, what can I eat that's not that many points, that'll keep me satiated and going on about the day, right? And for me, that's a lot. Like for instance, I can have a 3-ounce grilled chicken breast, juicy, delicious grilled chicken breast, which I've learned to season and make so like, a cup of rice, some spinach, some steamed carrots, and I could even throw in an apple pie egg roll, you know, that I made myself with my culinary skills in my air fryer over there. And all of that rounds up to, drum roll please, 8 points. So see, it's like, do I want to waste my time with them 2 skinny ass Twix bars, or do I want to eat a full, fulfilling, delicious meal? I'm gonna go with the fulfilling, delicious meal. I started to learn and I got excited, you know, I was really excited about finding meals that were filling, that were delicious, really delicious, because that's key, because I'm not eating no bland mess, that were really filling, tasty, and there were a lot of them, plus recipes that I could cook from. So great, right? But the thing is, man, I got complacent. I was in my feelings, you know, stress and stuff. And, you know, I just, and slowly but surely, eating a couple of winter storms where I got bored and the 30 pounds was just back up on a B. After years of being on the WW, the Weight Watchers, whatever, the WW, I stopped tracking and I fell off, son. So then I was like, okay. We gotta think this through. What's the trigger? And I thought my trigger was the holiday time because I tend to go visit family in Georgia. And between all of the traditional Trinidadian foods that my mother cooks, and then my sister will make some like, you know, some like Southern infused meals, and then all of the places to eat outside of that. So I thought that holiday, like the Christmas and New Year's were definitely my trigger time. But then what's really good, and I swear to you, this is not a Weight Watchers ad. You don't even need Weight Watchers to do this. You can do this the old-fashioned way of just like keeping track of your weight and writing down everything that you eat or whatever. I'm just saying what I use. That's all I know, right? So because I have tracked my weight since 2014, I have some good data here. I was able to figure out that on average, during the holiday time, I was only gaining maybe about 3 pounds. And 3 pounds, you know, is 3 pounds, but it's not like, you know, the worst thing in the world. I figured out my trigger though is January, February, and March. You know why? First of all, January lasts like 4 months. Why is January so long? That's number one, right? I live in New York in the Northeast. You know, the daylight is start dwindling. You don't get that much daylight. So that's a little, you know, like, oh man, ain't no daylight. It's cold as heck, so you're in the house more. Then there's winter storms on top of that, so you're like stuck in the house. And my board behind be like, you know what would be good right now? A whole pizza. Not a slice. A whole pizza. Nah, I don't think I would. Did I go as far as to eat a whole pizza? I don't think I would eat a whole pizza. Did I eat a whole pizza? Now I know in advance that I need a game plan for January. I need something to break up that monotony. I'm thinking maybe I probably need to schedule another vacation, a little trip or something. It could be a staycation. Actually, nah, no staycation because it's too cold in New York. I'm going to take my behind out and pluck myself into some place warm for maybe a couple days, maybe a week in January going forward, because January does tend to be a slow month in my field. So I think that's what I need to do to kind of break up the monotony there. Get a little game plan for January, because I was still going to the gym, but I was just eating like it was my job. So I was like, okay, I need to get back. I need to, you know, see what I'm doing. My trainer was like, girl, I can tell you're not eating properly. And I was like, oh man, damn. And then randomly, as things happen for me, I get random inspiration from some places. So I happen to be watching Michelle McDaniel's channel. My thoughts may offend you. She's so funny. But she, in a random video, it wasn't even a fitness video. She said that you cannot intuitively eat. You cannot eyeball the measurements of your food. You need to actually use the measuring cups, use the scales to weigh your stuff, because you can wind up overeating by thinking like, oh, you know, I'm good. And I was like, I need to start tracking again. I need to start measuring my food because I'm pretty sure that in the January, February, March, when I was not tracking and then I started doing things that I normally wouldn't do, like drinking Starbucks with like all of they was like, you want the whipped cream? I was like, yeah, and the syrup and all that other stuff. I was drinking that more often than I normally would. Stuff was adding up and I was like, that's exactly how I did that mess, yo. So now I measure and weigh my food and I'm going back to tracking. And these ain't even any special kind of weights and scales and measuring cups and whatnot. I got these on Amazon. I'll link them in the description box if you want these exact. I just got them because, you know, the black kind of matches the kind of color scheme I got going on here. Planning ahead is a huge part of the game. I ordered some pre-made healthy meals. I alluded to them in my empty apartment video, which if you haven't checked that out, you know, go ahead and check that out. But those helped me greatly in my busy lifestyle. And I really had to match everything with my lifestyle and kind of really understand my triggers and like the unique things and my pitfalls and whatnot that would lead me to just eating any old thing. And for me, you know, filming can be a lot. But you know, I want to keep my energy up, but I also don't want to stop and eat. So sometimes I will be like filming for hours. And then when I'm finally done, I'm like, yes, I'm done, but I'm ravenous. You know, chances of me cooking a healthy meal after that are very slim. I'm probably gonna order, you know, chicken wings and french fries, you know what I'm saying? So I had to really like plan for that. So anyway, I ordered from a company called Eat Better Meals, and it was a little trial and error trying to figure out which of the meals that I like, which things work best, and trying different things. At first I was getting breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Wasn't really feeling the breakfast because a lot of it was stuff that I'm like, I prefer this to be warm. Like I don't want to reheat like an egg quiche. So I learned, I'm like, okay, we just doing the lunch and the dinner. And then with the other meals, it was like, okay, does this taste good? Am I gonna experiment with this? And it would, sometimes I'd get something, I'd be like, ugh. And then there were other things I'd be like, yo, this is good. You know, just put a little pepper sauce on it and it's like, They do rotate the meals every now and again. I do venture and try some of the new things. Sometimes it don't work out, you know, it's a little trial and error kind of thing. But I like it because on a day like today, when I'm doing a lot of filming, when I'm done, I could just reach in, pop that sucker in the microwave, eat it, and go on about my business. Now, there might be a better option for you. That's fine. I'm telling you what works for me. So at first I was ordering a week's full of meals from them. So they would deliver half on one day and then the rest, you know, a couple days later. But I did find that I was like, damn, I got a bunch of these meals left over. And sometimes, like, if I had too much of the same thing, I'd be like, you know what, let me order some takeout. And so I actually wound up figuring out that ordering 4 days of food actually works for me. So, like, I'll have the 4 days of food for the ending of the week, because that's usually when I start to, like, really have my downfall, because I'm like, oh, it's Wednesday, it's so close to Friday, it's so close to the weekend, let me indulge. Oh, it's Thursday, it's so close to the weekend, let me indulge. Oh, it's Friday, the weekend is here, let me indulge. But like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I'd be more of the mindset like, oh, I gotta get this together. So on those days, I usually cook a meal from the Weight Watchers recipe, and I usually do good in the beginning of the week. It's towards the end of the week where I start to, you know, have my downfall and I have to kind of build in some guidelines for myself so I don't have those pitfalls. So now I'm at the point where I'm getting back into measuring everything that I eat, putting everything in the Weight Watchers app, really tracking what I'm eating. And, you know, I do want to indulge sometimes, but if I'm going to indulge, I definitely make sure it's something really, really good. I definitely make sure that I check like Yelp reviews, go through that with a fine tooth comb, because if I'm going to be using up my points, it better be for something good. I'm not going to get, you know, the White Castle murder burger. I want something top notch for my points. I've also started really leaning into creating healthier versions of things that I like, which, you know, again, this sounds like it's a whole Weight Watchers ad, but like I'm literally, this is all I know. There's so many other plans out there that I'm pretty sure maybe work similar. I don't know them like I know Weight Watchers. I'm leaning into creating healthier options of things that I enjoy that taste just as good. So I go in the Weight Watchers recipes and I've found so many great substitutions. The other day I made ice cream out of bananas because I thought I was ordering 3 bananas from, you know, the people that come deliver your groceries, but I actually ordered 3 bunches of bananas. So I had mad extra bananas. I was like, might as well make some banana ice cream. Made that, really delicious. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe that this tastes so similar to ice cream, right? And, you know, other things that you learn, like little substitutes, like using non-fat Greek yogurt in place of sour cream. That can taste really, really good in a recipe, but have really, really less fat, less calories, you know, so on and so forth. And even that apple pie egg roll I talked about in the beginning of this video, I made that with my own 2 hands from a fresh apple, some cinnamon, cornstarch, and some egg roll wrappers. You wrap it up, pop it in the air fryer, and it's so good. And it's only like 2 points. So even if you're not on WW, you got the WWW at your fingertips, and I'm pretty sure you know how to Google to find healthier recipes for the foods you like. Another goal is I'm trying to get to the point where I'm not hungry, because that is where the downfall happens. Because if I get hungry, I get complacent, I get hangry, and I'm gonna wind up wanting to eat the first fastest thing, which is usually something greasy and wrong. Well, I wouldn't call it greasy and wrong. It's just not worth it for that situation. Because I could eat that if I wanted to, you know, provided, you know, I track it and then, you know, all of the stuff. But getting complacent too many times can lead me into, you know, down where I don't want to be, which is exactly why I have those pre-made meals in my refrigerator. And when I cook something healthy and I have leftovers for a couple of days. I also make sure that I have at least 2 liters of water a day. I'm someone where I actually prefer to drink water than any juice or soda. Every now and again, I may indulge in a little bubbly beverage, a little juicy juice. Sometimes I'll even have a cocktail, but that's usually not that often for me. And of course, if I do have it, I will track it. And then I also go to the gym. Y'all, she about to have me in here doing some bullshit.
Get them glutes popping.
Oh Lord.
Just like that?
Yep. I want you to push up with the leg that's on the floor.
Push up like that?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
You feel that? You
I
felt
felt that right here.
But you should feel it in your glutes. So really try to just use your glutes to go up.
Oh shit.
So remember, tuck your hips forward.
Tip like you would.
And go up.
Go up.
1.
Wait, what kind of fucking shit is this?
Shit about to happen over here. Like we weren't good enough here. She had to go and add that.
Yes, to build the booty. Alright, 12?
Yep. Keep your chest down, core tight, and squeeze your glutes.
A few moments later.
It won't even lift up.
Yes, it will. Let's go. 5, 6. Miss ma'am. 10, keep your core tight. 11, and 1 more. 12, good.
So surprised if you made it this far into the video, because you get a bonus secret. It's your mindset. If you aren't mentally in it, you ain't going to win it. So you really have to manifest this. See it in your mind. Start a vision board. Put pictures up of words that maybe signify what the strength that you want, or even pictures are even better. Just get that in your mindset that this is actually something that can happen, that you deserve, that you want, that you will do, and then figure out what you need to do to make it work. For me, it was having all of these systems set up to make it harder for me to, you know, fall off the wagon. So for one, I work out with the personal trainer, and that is so embedded in my schedule that when it snows, when it's raining, when it's really cold, when I don't feel like it, when I'm tired, somehow my body just gets up and goes to the gym to be tortured for an hour twice a week. And then I started adding on additional workouts at home twice a week because I just love torture. It feels like torture, but you feel good afterwards. It's like, yes, I did that. And then, you know, it's like, ow, I did that. And listen, again, this is what works for me. It may not work for you. What's working for me now wouldn't have worked for me when I was in my 20s and 30s. First of all, I didn't have any money in my 20s and 30s to afford any of the stuff that I'm doing now. But in my 20s and 30s, I had a different kind of like, you know, I guess I had a little bit more energy. I was working out on my own. I had a workout plan where I would follow it and I was getting some good results and whatnot. Now I need a babysitter. I ain't even gonna lie, I need a babysitter. Now listen, I'm just trying to get as close to some of these over 40, over 50, over 60, shit, over 70-year-old baddies. It's just killing it, right? Like, I'm just trying to get as close to that as I possibly can. I may not get a 6-pack, but I'll be happy with, you know, half of 1 pack. You know, I won't mind a little, you know, a little something. But I'm gonna work as hard as I can to get there. You tell me what's working for you, what some of your pitfalls are. Just get all chitty chatty. Let's talk about it in the comments below. Just make sure whatever you do, you consult your doctor first, because you don't want no funny business happening. You start working out and then your gallbladder falls out on the gym floor, because we are at that tender age where a sneeze could take us out. So be careful, my fellow olds. This is not just for me, but for anyone. Do not comment on someone's weight unsolicited. If they bring it up and they ask you, yes, be truthful, but be constructive and be gentle. Because this whole culture, I'ma tell it like it is. I don't mince my words. I'ma tell it. That's whack. Why we can't be a little kinder to one another? Anyway, follow me on Instagram. I'm at StyleandBeautyDoc. Also, check out my skincare and my fashion channels, which I will link for you below. I'll leave you here with a recent video from this channel, as well as a popular one from my skincare channel. You know, provided YouTube lets me put that up in there. I don't see why not. And I'll see you in my next one. Peace, y'all.